too, yes. So this is Miss Opal. And Miss Opal, you can kind of see there's her eyebrows. And you've got the copper on your face. You're tri-colored, and she's a Sprudel. She is an F1B. No, she's an F1. Sorry, she's an F1. Her mommy is Penny. So Miss Penny, the red sable and white girl that I just groomed in a previous video right before hers, right? And Miss Opal's had one litter, and I'm letting her go now. I explained that in the last video, but I'll mention it again that, you know, if I don't think that they enjoyed it, if things, you know, if it just wasn't perfect, whatever, I mean, I would much rather let her go and let her enjoy life rather than feel like she really didn't enjoy having puppies. She's health tested, she's clear of everything. So wasn't that. The puppies did great. She raised them fine. She just didn't enjoy it, I guess, is the best way to put it. So, but she's a first generation Sprudel. And I am tidying her up because she is going to be going home soon, in another little over a week from now. She already has been spayed. So the owner had asked, the new owner, let me rephrase that. The new owner had asked several questions, and one of them was about grooming. So the last video showed her mother getting groomed, and then this video will show her. And all I'm doing right now is just brushing her out. So I'm combed her, I'm brushing, I'm just trying to get through it to make sure that there's no real big mats or anything. She's very beautiful when left a little longer. And again, you know my go-to tools at this point. I'm just gonna continue to go through her coat, and it will shorten up just because of using these two tools, this one and then my Mars Coat King. So her coat is, again, really easy to maintain, very, very similar to her mother's coat. Just doesn't shed as much. She has, she will need trimming from time to time versus her mother that you can get away with not having to, you know, trim them if you brush them out often. Yes, I know, big baby girl, you are so pretty. So this is the grooming. If you brush a few times a week, you know, if you brush 5 minutes every single day, that's probably the most ideal, is brush your dog 5 minutes every single day. But if you brush 5 minutes every day, their two coats will be fairly maintained all on your own. And you might find yourself having to go to the groomer every, I don't know, 4 or 5 months at least. And, you know, depends on how well you can maintain their coats. But neither one of them has a difficult coat maintenance. So, let's see. Other questions. Other questions that the new owners have asked. Of course, they asked about the health testing. And I have done the health testing as far as, so the health testing that I've done is where you actually send away a DNA sample and it gets evaluated, and it's evaluated for all of the diseases that are common to the breed, or in her case, breeds, that were involved in making her. And this will ensure if they don't have those genetic copies, then they will not get the genetically related disease or illness that's common to the breed. At this point, when I started health testing, it was only like 2 or 3 things that they were testing for. Now, some of the breeds are at 8 or 9 different genetic testing, and then some of the breeds are even more than that. The English Springer Spaniel, I believe, we're up to 9 different things. Some of the things that you test for in this are the same as a poodle. PRA, PRCD, and DM. These diseases are common to both, but von Willebrand's, VWD, is only a poodle related piece, genetic piece. So that helps to understand genetics. But she's clear, her mom is clear. They both have been crate trained. Oh, I love you. They both, they sleep in a crate at night. They both willingly go in their crate. I do not force either one of them. They will willingly go in their crate. The crate always has a bed, a toy, not something that can be destuffed or consumed or where they would get injured on it. But the crate always has a bone and a toy. And I feed them in their crates. It's not that they will eat each other's food necessarily. But if it's in the crate, then I know for sure who ate. If I put their food into one bowl and said, well, ladies, here you go, then I might never know when one of them isn't eating their food or is not getting enough. So that does give me that control. So I know for sure who's eating and how much they're eating and if there are any issues going on. So they are fed in their crate. Neither one of them devours their food instantly. Both of them will eat a little in the morning and a little in the afternoon, a little in the, they're just, it doesn't matter. There is no limit. If this one ate at 8 o'clock at night, she's not going to have an accident just because she ate food late. That's just not her. Let's see. Other questions? I know. They're both microchipped, so their microchips will come with them. They both have been vaccinated with a 5-way and the leptocoronavirus, which is really important. No, not the same coronavirus as what we're dealing with. It's an animal coronavirus. So they both have their vaccines. They are free-fed in the crate, like I said, in the crate. I know, I love you. We still have to keep working, though. And your tail is just wiggled and wiggled and wiggled, and I love you, and I love you. Oh, no. Mwah. Oh, baby. So, I get asked when I hand over a puppy if I'm sad. I'm never sad when it's a puppy. I'm only sad when it's this, when I'm letting go of a friend. And, I've loved on these girls, and they've been part of the family, and it's rewarding when I get to hand them over, and that family loves them. It's wonderful. It really is, because it makes me feel good when I know that they've gone somewhere that's special, that they're going to get the love and the attention. So, and this one loves attention. She's also tell them, say, I will get into things just like right now. You got a wad of hair. Thank you. She's mischievous. Penny's not. You are silly. She's got silly all over her. I'm telling you what. Yeah, she's very silly. Penny is playful, but she's not the I'm going to steal your shoe or your sock or your, whatever she's, that's not Penny. Penny didn't do that. This girl, Penny's daughter, now that's a different story, isn't it? Yes, it is. She still has all the silliness in her. So even though she's a little bit older, it doesn't mean that they're avoiding all puppy stage, because I think she still has some of the puppiness in her, even at 2. But you can see I'm doing this, and it's just taking out the loose hair and cleaning her up as we go. I will eventually scissor part of her. I do not believe I'm going to be running clippers on her. I probably will thin her coat out with this the whole way through and scissor some. But she does not require shaving. Her coat it's a whole lot easier to maintain. Like I said, once I've gotten all this out, daily brushing and this coat, this length, probably can be fairly well maintained between brushing and then scissoring once in a while. So she's gonna love this. You're gonna feel so much lighter, girl. Yes, you are. Come here. Up. There's that tail. There's that tail. Yes. So when girls get fixed, they get fat. They tend to get fat. And I will tell you that it's interesting because after having been spayed, suddenly they're more interested in eating more food. They don't need more food. They're not getting any different of exercise, but they definitely, oh, okay, thank you. Oh, that's my ear. No more, not in the ear. You're so silly. Yes. So you can see her coat is already beginning to shape up just from this little bit that I've done. Oops, easy. Stay. Yep. Oh my goodness, you are such a doll. And no, I don't use a Dremel. I don't really like using a Dremel. Especially with really hairy dogs, long-coated dogs, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can start grinding and then you can catch a piece of the hair on the Dremel and then it will twist up and it will pull the hair. I haven't had it happen to me, but I can name several clients that have shared with me their adventures, and that exact same scenario actually occurred with them. And no, it's not pleasant, it's not fun. It makes it so that the dog doesn't want to do that again. So I just I don't know. If I can get through it without causing any stress, that's my goal. I want to have a dog that's just totally cool with it. So, and you can see she's just happy. She is. She's a doll. My sweet, sweet Opal, huh? My sweet, sweet Opal. Easy, girl. Yep. Oh, Miss Opal. So, let's see. Other questions that the family had asked me. They did ask me about OFA. All right. OFA is the organization for certifying hips as being correct. These guys are smaller, as you see, and they are less likely to have issues. I haven't had issues. Neither one of them has ever shown anything. What I will tell you, based upon the research and what I know, is that dogs that are larger, the larger the breed, the higher the incidence. I know, I love you too. And then also not just the larger breeds, but putting too much weight on your dog. So obviously too much food and not enough exercise. But dogs that become overweight, dogs that are much, much larger, and also dogs that are sleeping on a hard surface like concrete. Then the other thing I'm going to tell you is something for new pet owners, but when you're playing with your puppy, think of that cartoon character. If you throw the ball across the slick surface and the puppy goes scrambling and they're sliding, think about yourself on ice or ice skating, and if you slip and how you might hurt. Your hips might hurt and whatnot. From what I have read and what I can tell you, but when you have those injuries like that, a repeated level of not necessarily damage, it's not like the very first time, and puppies are resilient. Puppies are absolutely resilient. Puppies bounce right back from anything. So if they're sore, they're still going to keep playing. They could continue having a repeated issue, but that can cause long-term damage. So when you are raising a puppy, do not have that slippery slide skid. And the same thing applies with an adult, because obviously an adult dog can get injured. Not necessarily that adult dog injuries will lead to hip dysplasia, but in puppies, because they're in the middle of growth and development, it is more likely to have a lasting impact. So when you're going to play with your puppy, no slick surfaces. Put out a cheap carpet so that you're not, you've got an area that they can play that has gription. But no, hip dysplasia occurs, like I said, typically larger breeds, overweight, and sleeping on hard surfaces, and then of course, what type of activities. And the reason I mentioned the whole slipping thing, if you look into, say, agility, because agility is provided by the AKC. They have locations where they have trainers that are certified through AKC. But if you decide to do something like agility, AKC will tell you can't do it until a certain age. So they actually have restrictions to help prevent those long-term problems, because they know there's an association with growth, development, and injury. So, yep. Let's see. Other questions that she asked. They're crate trained. They are not loose in the house when I'm not home. When you take an older dog home, you should give them only a small area of the house. There is no point in giving them the entire house when you bring them home. When you bring home a dog for the first time, you should keep them on a leash and allow the leash to drag behind them for a while, whether that's an hour or two. It depends on the dog and how well everything goes, but the leash will help, because if you get outside and you're in a fenced-in area and you let go of the leash, at least then you will have an easier time should the dog decide that they don't want to be caught. It will make it easier if the leash is left on. So leave the leash on when you bring home an older dog. On that first day of bringing home an older dog, don't get out of the car and go straight into the house. An older dog is totally confused by everything that just went down and will need to have a break before going into the house. So take them out to the yard only. Don't go taking a walk around the neighborhood and show off the new dog. That's, again, counterproductive. When you bring home a new dog, they're scared. They don't understand why. They don't know who you are. They don't know why you took them. They're confused. So, Humane Society, any dog, if it's an older dog and you bring them home, think to yourself that they need extra time to adjust. They are not going to just walk into your house and be like, oh, this is great. This is home. This is the best place in the world. They're not going to do that because they don't know. They have no idea. So you want to go into the yard first to try to coax your new companion to go to the bathroom. When you go in the house, you do want to keep it simple. Like I said, one area, block off all the other areas. Stairs are a hazard. If you're bringing home an older dog or even a puppy, you do not want to just give them free access to the stairs. Stairs can be a major danger for the dog. Most dogs will bound straight up the stairs, no problem. And then if they have not been exposed to a full flight of stairs, they're going to turn around and think they can come back down and instead realize that this was a bigger task than what they knew because they lacked the experience. So if you have a full flight of stairs at your house, you will need to essentially train the dog or the puppy so that they don't just go bounding up and turn around and come tumbling down. I do have a story of a dog that left me, an older girl, that went to her new home, and they have stairs, and she went bounding up them, full-blown, went straight up those stairs like she'd done it 100 times before. And she turned around, didn't know what to do, and decided to try to come down. And when she came down, the family, what they told me is she tumbled end over end and actually tore her ACL. So, stairs are a concern. We always make sure that everybody understands when you take a dog that you really do need to teach stairs. And like I said, this goes for any dog. If it's a dog from me or a dog from somewhere else, think of stairs as being a hazard. I know, sweetheart. And that you have to teach. You can't just let them go bounding up or down the stairs. Oh, we're getting so much more beautiful now, aren't we? We are getting so much more beautiful. Look at you. So, yep. So when you bring home brand new older dogs, don't rush them into the house. Limit your space in the house. Other suggestions I have when you're going to go ahead and bring home an older dog, please don't throw a party that first night. Don't invite all of your relatives over to meet your new pet. Don't do any of those things. A dog entering a new house needs to know that the house is stable and consistent. And if you've got all sorts of strange people that first day, I mean, they are going to be so confused by what is going on. You know, same thing with vacations. Don't get a dog and then decide that, well, it's an older dog. We just take a vacation. We can take the dog. We just take the dog with us, right? Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Dog needs a chance to learn to build trust. The only way they're going to build trust is with consistency. So, yep, there's a lot to consider. Whether you're bringing home a puppy or an older dog, there really is. There's a lot to consider. Older dogs might be easier in some aspects, but they also are more difficult in others. Especially one that you don't know the background on. That's my biggest thing to tell you, is one that you don't know the background on is a scarier choice. So, let's see, their food. All right, so the girls are actually being fed 2 different foods, and I'm going to recommend that maybe they just go on the same food. But they are on 2 different foods. So what I do is I always send enough food for the new owner. And when I say enough, I mean like at least 10 days worth. And I've gotten to that point where it's like, it's got to be at least 10 days worth, because it gives you enough time to decide if you want to stick with the food, if you want to change the food, and then you obviously have enough food to make the transition if you're changing. So, let's see, other things. Penny doesn't ever have accidents. This one, Miss Opal, yep, Miss Opal, if I get off schedule, yep, then it's my fault. She might have a pee accident in her crate. But it's not common, it's not often, and it's only when I get off routine. So then it's my fault. If I get off routine and one of my guys has an accident, it is absolutely my fault. It's not their fault. And that does happen. I try not to get off of schedule, but sometimes that happens, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Missy? Yes, it does. Sometimes that happens. We try not to. So, you can see she's been really good. And you can see I bounce around a lot. I've gotten used to just bouncing around a lot, because that's what typically keeps these guys chill on the table, huh? Is the fact that I don't sit and just work on one paw, but rather I move from a paw to an ear to the body to whatever, and I just move and move and move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get going, because I need to concentrate on you. I do, and I can't function doing this and looking at the camera. That just doesn't happen, does it? I'm thinking I probably should change the position of the camera so that it's facing us, maybe from the other direction. Turn the table and do it from the other direction, so that, yes, I know. You like this. You're antsy to touch it. You're so sweet. Yes, you are. You are so sweet. So, Yep. Oh my goodness. Well, these girls are looking prettier and prettier as I get this done. You and your mommy, huh? You and your mommy. It's time to go outside and play though, isn't it? And I'm cutting into your playtime, aren't I? She knows it. She knows it. It's cutting into her playtime. So I'm probably gonna have to let you out to go play and then finish you up a little later and then maybe take a video of you when I'm done. How's that sound? Should I do that? What do you think? I think so too. Yeah. Oh no, you're something else. You are. You're something else. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. There's that tail. Thud, thud, thud. I know. I know. You're a sweetheart. So, all right, guys. Well, listen. If you decide to take on an older dog, be careful. Take your time. Do your research. And put a lot of thought into it. So there is work with these guys just as there is with puppies. It's just a different kind of work, isn't it? It is. It sure is. So, all right. Well, I'm going to finish her up, and then I will go ahead and do some pictures or videos or something, and I'll attach it. I know. You're a doll. So, all right. You say bye. Say bye to them. All right, guys. Take care.